letting me finish the YouTube. So let me just share these slides and we're going to finish this up right here. Okay, present. All right, share. There we go. Boom. Okay, so I had the question about what is zoning. Okay, zoning is if you have an assisted living facility. If you have an assisted living facility, then your house has to be zoned properly for that business. And some cities and states say that you can't have more than one or more than two assisted living facilities within a certain number of miles of each other or yards of each other. And sometimes people make the mistake of wanting to open an unlicensed home, and they go to the city and ask, how do I open a group home here? And they start telling them about how the house has to be zoned a certain way for that. If you have a licensed group home, you require a license, then you do have to pay attention to city zoning, and there's got to be inspections that take place, and you have to have sprinkler system and all kinds of things like that. But if you're doing unlicensed, then zoning does not matter. If you're doing unlicensed, all you are is a landlord and you don't have to worry about zoning. Let me know if that answered the question or not. If it didn't, I'll go back. Okay, so now let's go back to here. Let's go back to the steps. So we're on step 5. So we've already talked about mindset. We talked about setting up the business, getting the house. We've talked about marketing. But what about the day-to-day? So this is where we talk about the daily operations. So your standard operating procedures, also the house rules and chores and just things like that, and also common challenges. So that's what we talk about in step 5. There's different ways to collect rent. Some people ask, well, how do you collect rent? I actually use a tenant management system called Rent Ready. I'll put that in the chat here. Rent Ready tenant management system. And that's how I collect all my rent. So people can pay with either a debit card or credit card, even cash at certain places through the app Rent Ready. It's an app on their phone. And you choose what payments you want to accept. You don't have to accept every payment. All right. And then the last step is putting everything on autopilot. And this is where I teach you about the different tools that I use, like, for example, Rent Ready or JotForm or my website host like Wix and things like that. And I teach you ways to set up systems so that you don't have to spend so much time on this business. And then I also teach you what to look for in an operations manager and how to hire an operations manager and how to pay an operations manager so that you can kind of duplicate yourself, like clone yourself so that somebody else can be doing some of the administrative type work and also dealing with the tenants of the house. So those are the steps. I've covered all the steps, all 6 steps to opening your group home. And I hope that you can take this information and open your own group home. And if you want some help, then I've got my startup intensive. So just reach out to me if you're interested in that. If you go to grouphomeonautopilot.com, you can sign up for my email list there. And you can also send me a message when you receive an email. When you sign up, you will receive an email from me. And when you receive that email from me, you can always reply back to that and let me know if you're interested in this. And also there's the link that I had put in the chat earlier about grouphomeonautopilot.com/startup intensive if you want to just go ahead and sign up. And then I also have grouphomeonautopilot.com/online course if you just want to do the self-paced online course, which is $19.97. And as a reminder, I do have a payment plan. Okay, now I'm going to open it up to Q&A, and I'm going to see if I'm able to go back and stream. Because those poor people on YouTube, I just left them.